Hey guys, Sam here, welcoming you to a different video today, a bit of a season review with my good friend, the BMOnus Gamer. Introduce yourself, buddy.
Hey, what's up? It's the BMOnus Gamer.
And pretty much what this is going to be is like a two-part video where we'll be talking about, in this video, the transfers we made this season / last season, and then over on the BMOnus's channel, you will be able to check out what we'll be discussing possible transfers for next season, and we'll be giving them ratings and try and make a game out of it, try and make it fun. So pretty much I'm going to run off a list. We're going to get straight into this. I'm going to run off a list in alphabetical order of the players that we signed this season. Okay, so we're starting off with Ander Herrera. 3, 2, 1.
I have an 8.6.
I have a 9.
Oh, you're high. All right, you go first. Ander Herrera.
Just the way he came into the team, I think was brilliant, because if you remember at the start of the season, Van Gaal didn't want to play him. And he's like, you know what? Once you play me, I'm going to show you why you should play me. And Van Gaal played him, and he's made the midfield tick, and that's why I've given him a 9, because without him, I honestly think we would have struggled to score a couple of goals. Just his passing and his movement is just absolutely brilliant. He's linked up with Juan Mata incredibly well. And he honestly has just brought a bit more of like fluidity to the team, which I've really enjoyed. I've said it many times, I appreciate central midfielders a lot more than I think other people do. And I appreciate what Ander Herrera brings to the team. And I think next season he has to be one of our main men going forward, like into the future, not like attacking, but he can attack if he wants. And hopefully he'll have a solid three-man midfield, like 2 other midfielders with him. Hopefully someone like a Gundogan or a Schneiderlin and then a Carrick. And hopefully our midfield will just boss it next season. I think he's going to be the main man in the midfield. So, what do you think of Ander?
I'm going to be all hipster about this and said that I was at one of Ander Herrera's first Manchester United games when he played here in LA. And back then I was singing his praises back then about, he's tenacious, man. He's an excellent passer. He's Spanish. He has great vision. He can play that killer ball. He has amazing vision. And he's not afraid. He's feisty. He's got that Latin fire within him. He can get in, stick a foot in. He's pretty decent at the tackle. The only reason that I knocked him a little bit and didn't give him like that whole 9 is that I guess I'm a little bit critical of, while he can play those great passes, every once in a while, like 1 out of 10 passes, he just, I don't know why, he just loses his mind and he gives it away in the midfield, which we haven't really, well, even this season, we've been punished a couple of times because of it, as he does give it away. When he gives it away deep, it definitely instantly gives the other team the ability to counterattack. And I think that's the main reason why Van Gaal, he saw it early in preseason, like, the talent is very apparent. It's just he's that close to being that finished product, and just every now and then, I don't know if it's a concentration thing, he just lets that ball slip, and then he gives the ball away in midfield, and it can cost Man United a game. So that's the only thing. If he can clean that up, I mean, he's incredible. He was on that like amazing streak of like 5 shots on target, 5 goals earlier. I was a little bit sad when that went down, but that was a really fun record. But all in all, hands down, one of our best signings, if not the best signing of this summer.
Angel Di Maria. We're going alphabetical order by first name, by the way, if anyone was wondering. So Angel Di Maria.
This is gonna be interesting. I want to see.
Yeah, that's 3, 2, 1.
I gave him a 6.9.
Oh, I gave him a 4.5.
Oh shit. Okay.
Alright. You go first. You go first on this one.
In the defense of Angel Di Maria, and this is a full season thing, we can all agree that Angel Di Maria started out like freaking gangbusters. Like that incredible game. Well, I guess it's not so incredible in retrospect, up against Leicester City, but Angel Di Maria was incredible in that game. That the whole scoop goal, he was electric on the field. He looked like the player that he was in Barcelona. He looked like the player that he was for
Barcelona.
Barcelona, Real Madrid. Yeah, that's gonna legit.
I'm keeping that in.
Legit bad right here. Yeah, he looked like the player that made him worth the price tag. He looked like there was gonna be 0 transition time, and then he picked up that knock early in the season, and then he's just kind of been fighting to get back into the squad ever since. The reason why I gave him such a high score as opposed to you, I feel like, is because I saw the potential there, and I saw the ability, and I know, I guess we're only grading him on on this season alone, but I think is he the number one? I can't look at the stats right now, but he's one of the highest assist men, for Manchester United. He isn't really scoring the goals, but he's made some very critical assists. He was the guy who got that assist on that amazing Juan Mata goal up against Liverpool, and I see the potential there, and I think it's kind of easy to write him off now, but I think with a year going in the system, I think that he can really shine, especially with Memphis Depay coming in.
I agree with you. I think he did get the most assists in our squad. The thing is, with Angel Di Maria, he is world class, and we've seen so many, just a couple minutes of how good he is, but that's the problem. It's only a couple minutes. Now, obviously, he's had a difficult time settling into England as a whole, with the whole house robbery thing, or whatever happened, but he's played more minutes terribly than he has world class. That's my thing with Di Maria is, at times in this season, he's been our best player on the field. The quality of that chip against Leicester and the through ball, that little flick over to Mata, those are just seconds of class from Angel Di Maria. For me, he just has to get that, expand that, and make it across a 90-minute period and just blitz defenders and stuff like that. For me, the reason I've given him 4.5 is, for me, he's played more minutes badly than he has at an absolute top level. But when he does play at the top level, he's absolutely exceptional. I do agree with you. Move on to the next one, which is Daley Blind. 3, 2, 1.
7.5.
Oh, I gave him a 7.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
go first.
Okay.
Daley Blind is a solid player. I mean, if you want to look at the definition of solid, you just see Daley Blind's beautiful head with that hair on it as well.
Majestic,
exactly. But he's not going to light the world on fire. I think he did his job this season, as solid as you like, and I think 7 pretty much just defines solid. It's not too high. It's above average for sure. I think he's been an incredible signing, very versatile, can fill a lot of holes, and he brings a bit of stability. I think he still needs to work a bit more on his, he's not Carrick stability. When you have Carrick in the side, you feel stable, but I think Blind can reach that and surpass that. I think he needs to work on that. I think he needs to take a few lessons from Michael Carrick on how to just calm play down and dictate the gameplay. But for me, happy with the signing of Daley Blind. He's been absolutely brilliant. I've got his jersey sitting away in my closet because that's how much I liked him. And
then you put it in the closet.
I doubt there's going to be much difference between 7 and 7.5, but
I'm gonna echo everything that you said. Solid player. When he first came in, he filled a role that we deeply needed at this club. He needed to be that kind of deep lying play, basically hold the ball and distribute it out. The Carrick type role, and for some games he was able to play it, but it seemed that in other games he would get a little bit antsy. He would maybe lose it a couple times in the midfield, and it wasn't the same calming presence as when you had Carrick in there or Paul Scholes from a year ago. But he's been extremely solid. He scored some very crucial goals to save some games. He's been able to fill all these kind of roles and spots all along that back line. Not the back line, but he can play that left side as well as a midfield role, and he's been solid. So I don't think we're that different on this one.
To move on to Luke Shaw. No, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I gave him a 6.
I give him a 5.
Okay.
You go first.
Okay, Luke Shaw, I think maybe I'm grading these guys on potential. Obviously, came in, Louis Van Gaal said that he had a fitness issue, and that was pretty much right. He's been in and out of the lineup all season, picking up a knock here, picking up a knock there. He's probably going to pick up an injury-prone trait in FIFA 16, the way that he's played this year. But when he has played, the kid is electric. The kid can defend extremely well. He can go forward. He didn't seem that comfortable when the season first started in the 3-5-2 formation that Louis Van Gaal was playing back then. But as the season went on, as kind of the formation changed, and it was more. It seemed that he was more comfortable going forward, and he was he seemed more comfortable at taking on players, and he was able to get past players, sometimes looking like the best winger that we had on that left side. And he delivered some pretty good crosses and some not so pretty good crosses, but unfortunately, it's a fitness issue. If the kid was playing, I feel like he does really have the potential, and he's extremely young. What is he, like 19, 20 years old? He's extremely young, and I feel like if, in the next coming years he's going to be pretty good, it would be higher if we actually stayed healthy. So this one's like kind of like an incomplete for me.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. He's I don't think we got to see enough of Luke Shaw this season in that left back position. Daley Blind then went in there and he played very well, and then when Luke Shaw did get fit, he wasn't really getting into the side. And for me, Luke Shaw has another 2 or 3 years to still refine himself before he becomes a starting left back. He's got so much time. I don't think he has to worry about this season. It was definitely a very introductory season for him. For me, he's just got to work this preseason to stay fit, play well, improve. The reason I gave him a 5 simply was because I felt like I didn't see enough of Luke Shaw. I don't think I could have given him anything above a 5. But at the same time, I think he is a brilliant left back. In the last couple of, the last 10 games of the season, we saw him playing in left back a couple times, and his overlapping runs were incredible. You see he wants to get forward, bombing past Ashley Young, and as you said, whipping in decent crosses. So for me, yeah, I definitely can't wait to see what Luke Shaw brings to the table in the next five years. But for now, this season was pretty much just, I don't know, it was sort of like I didn't see enough of Luke Shaw, so I'm going to give him a 5. But moving on, we got the big bad Argentine in centre back. It's Marcos Rojo. Alright, there. 3, 2, 1.
6.5.
6.5. Boom.
Oh, we actually aligned on this one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
My only problem with Marcos Rojo is sometimes he can forget that he's a centre back. But at the same time, I think if we bring Otamendi, which I guess we'll talk about in the second video, I think that Argentine connection will be brilliant. Chris Smalling obviously is, I think, our main man going forward. I think Rojo is the second man. So he might get dropped if a new centre-back comes in, but I honestly think he would be a perfect backup centre-back. And he can just come in and do a job. But at the same time, he wasn't a brick. He wasn't like Nemanja Vidic style. But at the same time, I did enjoy Marcos Rojo. I think he's a decent signing, and I would like to see him stay at the club for many years to come.
I feel like he's the same way. He's kind of like, he's pretty good, but then every once in a while he kind of like loses his mind, or he breaks discipline, and a player is through. There are other times when you can see that his pace, that his strength, that he's clever in his defending, that he's spicy, that he can stick a foot in, that he can get to a header, and then there are moments that aren't so great. He picked up, I think, like 1 or 2 knocks throughout the season, so we'll see if he can. I mean, pretty much anybody. It's like a running joke now. If you play in that back line for Manchester, you're gonna pick up a knock at some point. But yeah, hopefully he can grow. I don't see like him as the next Rio Ferdinand.
From one South American to another. This will be fun. We get to talk about Radamel Falcao.
Oh man. Okay. I can almost guarantee my rating's gonna be bigger than yours.
3, 2, 1.
I give him a 4.
I give him a 2. Okay, you can go first.
My review is going to be quick. I gave him 4 because he scored 4 goals.
I gave him 2 because I gave him 0.5 for every goal he scored.
So it was predicated on how many goals he scored.
Oh, Falcao.
I mean, he had like a couple bright moments, but we had the discussion off camera about how we've never seen a player more beloved do less in a Manchester United shirt.
Which I don't understand. Look, I'm a fan of Falcao, and I was excited when he got signed, but I didn't, like, when he started not performing, I just said, don't give him a chance. Like, I'm sorry, like, I kind of wanted him to leave Manchester United. I didn't want to pay that money for him, because it's a huge risk once you've seen someone not perform for your team to then sign them permanently. I was like, come on, we can't possibly be signing it. People were so sad that he left, and I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, well, he's gone. So many chances that he didn't put in as well, so...
Yeah, some absolute sitters, too.
Yeah.
Like, really...
Too inconsistent for Falcao. Alright, I think this is the last one. I don't think I've missed anyone, but the last signing is Victor Valdez, I believe, who made 1 appearance, or 2, 3, 2, 1.
I gave him a 7 or an 8, depending if David De Gea leaves.
I give him a 5.
Okay.
Because he did make 2 appearances, didn't he?
All I remember is, yeah, well, technically, De Gea got hurt in that one game. So,
So like 1.5 appearances, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, who else did I give a 5? He did a job. That's what it was for Valdez. I didn't see enough. I think it was Luke Shaw that I was saying the same thing. I didn't see enough from Valdez, but he made some brilliant saves in those 1.5 games that he played. Just world-class reflexes. And although he did have a couple of blunders where we could have conceded, I think that's just in Victor Valdez's nature. Still a brilliant keeper. If he was the starting keeper, I wouldn't say no. If he was a backup keeper, I wouldn't say no. At the end of the day, for me, Valdez, it's whatever happens, happens. We have to play it by ear. I hope David De Gea doesn't leave, but yeah, I think he's going to. And I think Valdez, when he needed to step up, he stepped up, so he gets a 5 from me.
I gave him a 7 just on kind of like the business end of the deal. Everything that you said is what I feel, and that, you know, he made some good saves, and then he made some absolute blunders. Like, we could have easily lost that whole game on a mistake or two that he did. But for the concept, I think we brought him in on a free transfer. So I mean,
so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's literally, I don't know how you can't rate him below like a 7 as a transfer, because he's on a free. So the worst thing that can happen is that we make money off of Valdez, and it looks like a smarter transfer now that we're seeing, you know, we haven't heard anything from David De Gea. But we'll talk about that later. But if he does leave, then we have a solid backup. I mean, he's not as good as he used to be, but he did play for one of the best sides, if not the best side in the world. Well, second best to Manchester United, of course. But he did play in a pretty big team. And he still got the ability to at least shot stop fairly well. So, you know, it's I don't know. I can't see how you lose. I can't see how you lose on this one.
But that brings us to the end of this video. If you guys want to go over to the BMOnus channel, I'll have the link at the top of the description. We'll be talking about potential transfers, and then we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be rating them. Go check him out. He does great career modes. And yeah, anything you want to say before we leave it?
No, man. Just thank you for having me on, and this has been really fun, dude.
All right. See you guys on the BMOnus channel. Keep it real.
Later.